a good turnout, but it's a little chilly outside. I also want to welcome every folks that are listening and watching on social media. My name is Keith Riewitz. I'm the Executive Chair for the Darke County Republican Party. Today we're participating in our representative form of government where we as the public get to vet the candidates that best represent our values, beliefs, and our priorities. The Darke County Republican Party, as a service to our community, is putting this candidate form on to give folks the opportunity in the public to meet the candidates and to make a better informed voting decision when the time comes at the primary in this March. The candidates that we're going to be looking at today are two for Darke County Commissioners. That'd be Larry Holmes and Matt Harrison. And then we are looking at two for the 2nd District Court of Appeals, which is Chris Epley and Jess Rezebek. Our moderator for today is Cindy Pike. Our timer is Matt Altman. And our question runner is Katie Deland, who's also the event coordinator, which I greatly appreciate all those folks that are doing something there. And so shall we stand for prayer as Lynn would come forward.
Would you all please join me in prayer? Dear Heavenly Father, we want to greatly thank you for allowing us to be residents of this wonderful country. We thank you for your guidance, and we ask that you give all of us knowledge as we listen to these candidates and give them wisdom as they try to lead our local community and our county and our district. We thank you again for allowing us to gather, and please, dear Lord, put your hand of guidance on all that are governing in the United States of America, and may you bless this great country, and we all say amen. Amen.
Let's have a pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, Cindy, move forward here.
Thank you, Keith. We'll go ahead and go over some of the rules so everybody is aware of them. The Darke County Commissioners, they will go first, followed by the 2nd District Court of Appeals. The candidates will start in alphabetical order and alternate their responses back and forth. The first question will then be answered by the opposite candidate and just alternate back and forth. We'll have 3-minute introductions, and then we'll have questions with a 2-minute response from each candidate. And then each candidate will have a 2-minute closing. With that, I would like to introduce Matt Harrison and Larry Holmes. And I apologize, you're just going to have to kind of pass the mic back and forth.
Are we to share the water too?
I can have another.
Yeah, we're sweet, Larry. Thank you.
And you're off, Matt.
All right, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Matt Harrison. I'm currently the mayor of Hollinsburg. I've been president of the Darke County Mayors Association for several years now. With this, it's my intention to, with my background, 15 years fire and rescue, along with 30 years working for Winners Meats, I've been out involved with the public most of my life. I've donated most of my life to public service. And in that, I've seen the needs over the years, and through the Mayors Association as the mayor, we have a lot of needs. As most of you know if you've been following me, I've been addressing those needs through the Mayors Association, and one of those is working on creating the nonprofit, which would be the Darke County Reinvestment, which would find ways to offer solutions and bring resources to the communities to help them help themselves. And through that, we want to reach out and create a better environment, which in turn will be draw in more positive people who want to work the jobs that are here that are not getting filled, and at the same time create economic development. So, in short, I like to find ways to take what we have and squeeze it for all I can get. For those of you that follow me, I mean, in the last year, we've done 5 demolitions in Hollinsburg and spent next to almost no money because we have resources here, and I find ways to bring our people to get them involved and use our resources. Because I think we have enough resources here in Darke County to fix most of what we have and make it even better. So it's my intention to add value to what I can and use my creativity, outside the box thinking, to try to make things even better where the needs are.
Good morning, and thank you for being here. My name is Larry Holmes. I'm a candidate for Darke County Commissioner. Just a little bit about myself and my family. I was raised here. My mother is still here. Carol and I raised our 4 children here. We've been married 41 years. Married Carol Garrett, and 2 of our 4 children are in the community, which we're pleased about, and 4 of our 6 grandchildren. You're the first one to hear that we've added the 6th grandchild in the past week. So this is an opportunity for me to give back to the community. I'm wrapping up a 44-year career with Fort Recovery Industries. I've been the financial officer there for quite some time now. I am treasurer, vice president of finance and administration. We employ about 440 folks, and we have a budget that runs approximately $70 million. And that happens to be about the same size as the county budget. Runs through between the pass-through funds and the funds that are fully under the control of the commissioner office, and that part is about $25 million. I'd like to give back to the community. We have a good county. We need to continue that. I would like to see this to be a community that my children remain in, and my future generations will want to be here, as well as your children will want to be here. And to do that, we need to make it a place for them to, they need to have the opportunity for work. They need to have an opportunity to have the amenities that attract them, and they want to, and most likely, more importantly, for them to want to be here. So that's a long way to say I want to move the county forward. The challenges are primarily fiscal. Right now they're in pretty good shape, but those ebb and flow. The county's been fiscally challenged in the past and will be fiscally challenged again in the future. It's dynamic. It's a large county. There's all kinds of different needs by different folks, ranging from the townships to the villages to the cities and all the folks in between. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to serving all of the community of Darke County. And thank you.
Okay, our first question for this morning will go to Larry Holmes. What do you consider to be the biggest crisis facing Darke County right now, and how do you plan to address this?
Thank you. While I'm very focused on the fiscal side of the agenda, we need to make sure we have the resources to meet the needs of the county and live with what we have, secure resources both where we can through grants and so forth. But the biggest challenge I see is the opiates in the law enforcement and the medical community and in the court system, and how to deal with that. We need to be very supportive of that, and we need to work through that, because I've had the opportunity to spend time with the Darke County Sheriff Office. I met with Sheriff Spencer. I've done a ride-along with the deputies. I've recently visited the jail and visited with all the folks there that were there when I went through there. And it's a challenge. It's a true, deep, and challenging time for this county and for society on that front. So that's probably the biggest crisis I see, at least in the short term. And longer term, we need to build the community to make it attractive. So we're not unique in a lot of ways. We have uniqueness, but we're also not unique when it comes to some of the challenges we have.
Well, being involved in fire and rescue once again, also being the mayor of a small village, president of the Mayor's Association, I get to sit around and listen to the other mayors talk about the issues. As Larry stated, the opioid, that is a big deal. However, in some areas it has slightly reduced. The whole thing's rather complicated. Your EMS, they deal with a lot of these, they have to eat a lot of the costs. So some of this is state involved. Same with the jail, when they don't want prisoners at the state level. So the county is being overwhelmed with a lot of these issues. These need addressed. Toby and I have had several meetings. One of them is creative ways. How do we take low-risk inmates and how do we put them to give them a purpose? Because I believe some people, by giving them a purpose, you're going to send them in a new direction. We've shared these creatives. I did not do a ride-along. I did more of a tag-along with our resource officers in the schools. I've been with most of the deputies throughout the middle of the night and all these different scenarios. So I understand where they're at. And with the resource officers, that shed some new light that I didn't quite understand what their jobs were. And I'm very impressed. Very much lays into the community. And I think we're on track. We just need to continue to work and move in that positive direction.
Okay, the next question is, how do you view your role as a county commissioner? And we'll start with Matt.
Well, my role as a county commissioner, I want to bring the same passion, because it's not just sitting in the seat watching numbers. Numbers are very important, don't misunderstand me. However, sitting in this seat as commissioner, that allows you influence to be able to talk to other groups, group leaders, different things, and say, hey, this community is working on this. How can we take what you're doing and implement something over here that's going to be a cost savings? And there again, Darke County reinvestment, that's the idea behind this. The small communities, the county financially, we're doing okay. The communities, we're not. There's no money. So how do we create means to help them address their concerns, at the same time not create a welfare situation? We've got to be creative in this. And with that, I want to bring a passion to this office that's not just sitting there. I don't want to be the office guy who counts on everybody to come to me and tell me about it. I want to be out there, just like I am now. You know, I work almost 50 hours a week at Winters cutting meat. Also in my own deer processing shop. I do all that, and I still manage to do these politics. Yes, it's struggling, it's frustrating, but I love it. I love the fact that I can help people, and I love bringing that same passion to try to find solutions. We can talk till the cows come home. Until we come up with a solution, we got nothing.
The primary role of the Commissioner's Office is to provide executive and administrative oversight to a wide variety of functions within the county, be it public safety, be it job and family services, judicial side, and some other administrative areas. It is wide and complex. It is not easy. And to achieve that, you have to be available. You have to be out and make yourself available, spend time, work collaboratively, build relationships, and seek solutions together. And the experience of being in an organization that grew from 5 million to 70 million, from 50 employees to 440 million, I have learned to do that over time. Been involved at state level and sometimes federal level topics. And you build relationships, and you're right, you do have to get out, you have to make yourself available, and you have to put yourself at risk for those folks to get to know you and you get to know them, and then seek a positive, collaborative solution to the challenge that you're addressing. And it won't be easy. And the current commissioners have a challenge, and the future commissioners will have a challenge. And I look forward to that opportunity.
Okay, can you provide an example from your private or professional life that helped you achieve a larger goal, helping with others?
You know, when you look back, had a great experience on the school board. There were some challenges there that we worked through. Here more recently, we worked through and set up a near-site health clinic for our employees. We worked with a local healthcare provider that will hopefully provide positive impact for quality of life for that group of individuals as well as our community. So there's different challenges, different times. We've worked through putting different things in place over time. But that's the most recent. We moved into putting up, the schools have successfully had a school built since that time. Some of the things done with the group I worked with set that stage. And times are not without bumps in the road, but you get through those and work forward. And again, you set a goal, you need to think strategically, you need to say, what's the end point? What am I trying to achieve? And then you circle around and find the resources and the folks that will work with you to get there. And I've got that experience. I've demonstrated on multiple fronts, private and public.
With my background, starts out at the beginning. I married my wife over 26 years ago. We raised 3 boys. I totally understand what it's like. You make too much money to get the help, but not enough to pay the bill. So I get it. I know where a lot of people are at. Through that, my years in fire and rescue, I've learned leadership. You know, when someone's life is in your hands, it changes everything. And you learn the importance of a team. You learn how to be a team player. You learn how to communicate. You learn the importance of those relationships, because without relationships, you don't get anything done. So through that, you know, and sitting on the board for Tribal Edge Rescue, I've sat on numerous boards and committees. They're all pretty much the same. They just have their own unique struggles. As far as that, the Mayor's Association, you hear all the problems, you see the struggles, you see those that are even given up to some degree. So how do you spark the interest? How do you find these things? This is a passion that I have. And so there again, you try to find things within, use your resources to their fullest. And I have a passion for this job, and being the commissioner I would love to take that to the same seat. You know, I'm not in it for whatever. I'm in it because you the people. I mean, you're my team. We're all in this together, and we have to find the solutions.
The demographics of Darke County has changed over the years, which has also changed our job market. What would you do as a commissioner to help reverse this trend?
I completely understand the demographic. As president of the Palestine-Hollinsburg Sewer District, we've had to go through this demographic, and we've also got some other issues on the table as well, as far as what we're going to do and how we're going to do things. The demographic is rather wide in Darke County. Up at Versailles, they've got it rocking. You've got some great things going up there. You've got prices of homes from all the way here down to here. So the idea is we bring this all to the table. Economic development is great. However, what I'd like to do is bring balance to this through the reinvestment. How do we spruce up the communities that are here, draw in the positive people who are going to fill these jobs? Darke County Economics has done some great things, and I hope they continue to strive. However, I've said for the last couple of years, what are we going to do about these communities? These communities are where our people who are going to work those jobs live. So until we address this, how are you going to fix that? Building new houses and new housing complexes, those are all great, but they band-aids, they don't fix what's here. Why are we reinventing the wheel? Let's take what we have. We've got great people, we've got great communities. So it's my goal that when you see advertisement for Darke County, I want to see all 20 cities and villages of Darke County listed up there, because we're all great, we're all unique, we just got some struggles. And as we address those, and with that, the whole money difference, it's okay. We know what we have, and not everybody's going to be the next metropolitan, but that doesn't mean we still can't have a great community.
As county commissioner, I'll remain involved in a lot of activities. I'm currently sit on the executive board of the Darke County Community Improvement Corporation. The dynamics of how to balance what we have, because the population shrunk just a little bit, but we've seen an aging population, and we've really seen a shrinking of the individuals from high school to age 50, where a big chunk of your workforce comes from. And to address that is not an easy topic. You gotta do workforce development, encourage and assure the skills are there. You gotta look at housing if you can work at that, and then you look at what drives that. And growing the economy may come on the agricultural side, it may come on the manufacturing side, or it may come somewhere in between. We don't know what that looks like, but think strategically, set a target, and then move towards that, and put some of those pieces in place. It's just not easy, but there's an involvement there that requires a lot of thinking and engagement and action. At the end of the day, nothing moves forward until you set a plan and put an actionable plan in place. It has to be implementable. You have to be able to implement it. And there's sometimes gaps there. So find an implementable plan that addresses how to bring jobs into the community, how to prepare your workers for those, and how do you raise the standard of living for folks. And it won't be easy. It'll be a challenge, and a challenge we need to face. Thank you.
What do you see as the biggest challenge and also the biggest asset for Darke County to be in the site selection for adding corporations and jobs in Darke County?
I was afraid you'd have me then I'm first on that one. Would you give me a question again? I remember part of it. I'm sorry. My mind went blank for a second.
What do you see as the biggest challenge and the biggest asset for Darke County in the site selection to bring corporations and other jobs to Darke County?
I think the biggest challenge is assuring that you have the infrastructure in place, that you got the sewer and water and electric in place. You have the workforce ready to go, and you have sites available that are near shovel ready if you want manufacturing. There may be some professional groups, if you set the stage right, that could come. You look at Slime with Fannicowing. What keeps Greenville from not attracting someone like that? Why can't we think out in those kind of areas? The biggest asset we have is our people. It's a great community. We got great folks. We got values. We got hardworking individuals. You know, we need to retain and build on that. And that, without a doubt, is our biggest asset. Is the work ethic that is instilled in Darke County. And you know, that's part of being rural and being family and oriented. Those are the components that will drive us forward if we can capture that and leverage it.
I think a lot of ours is communication. There's major communication gaps within the county. Not that I'm pointing fingers, because we're all kind of guilty of this. Once again, as president of the Mayor's Association, I sit around these things, and as I become more involved, and I started building those relationships with the commissioner's office, there was a lot of things they were working on. My mayors had no idea. And they've tried. Darke County Economic, Mike Powers, he and I've had several conversations. Mike has some great ideas that he wants to bring to the communities. And he struggles with the communication factor. So it's been, for the last couple of years, I've really pushed this communication and how do we make it better? And how do we put things in the hands that need to be? Because the communities, we have people within the communities who want better, who want to go the distance. How do we bring this all together? And I don't think that you can't just sit around a board table and make these discussions, because some of these people, yes, they're sitting around the board because they believe what they're doing is right, and to no fault of theirs. However, there's a major difference between that board table and what really happens out here. And I believe my ability to rub elbows with all the different gaps of people, I can communicate in a way that most people can understand. And I think that's going to be a big one. You know, and there again, help these communities help themselves. And I think you're going to start seeing some of this work itself out.
If elected, what changes, if any, would you make to the office of the commissioners?
Well, you have to be careful with that answer. I found out really quick, when I became the mayor, I had a lot of brilliant ideas. And it's taken me 4 years to finally gain some traction. Because look at it this way, you've got 2 commissioners that are going to be in office. These guys already have projects going, they're already doing things. And for me to walk in there and, hey, I'm here, what do you really think you're going to do? You know, you already start the head button right off the get-go. And you have to basically, I use the old biblical parable at the wedding feast. When I join into something new, I sit in the back of the room. I take it all in, I see who's doing what, and this is where the beginning of the relationship starts, because I need to know what Matt's going to do and what Stiegel's going to do. What are they doing? And at that point, you wait to be invited forward. And because in that process, that's where the respect comes in. That's where you're building the trust. Because if they don't know, not just them, but any of the county offices, anywhere else, if they don't trust you and know you have best intentions and you're going to work with them, good luck. Because people in the liability age don't want to be thrown under the bus. And it's tough. It's very tough. So you build those relationships. So you have to take it all in, learn the process, and then, and only then, can you make a change is if you win at least one commissioner over. And so at this point, I wouldn't change anything. I just want to come in and learn it, and then see where we're at, and then talk to the commissioners and say, hey, I think this might work. And then we start that direction.
As far as the changes day one, you know, that's not, there's nothing glaring there that says this needs to change. I do struggle with how you can adhere to the sunshine rules and be set up physically the way they're set up, but you know, I'll learn that. I do think the opportunity exists for better relations between a lot of different organizations, and be it with employees, be it with other staff members, be it with other community representatives. And I think spending some time there is maybe where that opportunity is. Now, how real is there an issue there? You know, get it through the paper just like the rest of you. So, you know, you have to be careful how you make those decisions before you get there, and make your own self-evaluation, step back, take some things in, get the landscape, and work collaboratively, both with the other commissioners and with other folks out in the community.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you for your answers to the questions, and I'm sure you will be available after the forum is over to answer any other questions that people in the audience may have. At this time, we'll go ahead and start with our 2-minute closing.
Thank you. I look forward to serving the community of Darke County, and it means a lot. This is where I've been raised, this is where my family's been raised, and this is where I look forward to our future. I think what is unique, I bring a tremendous amount of experience in an area of need for the county, and that being on the fiscal side. Yes, there's a lot of needs. I've visited with townships, and I've tried to get out townships, villages, and cities, and other organizations, so I listen before I step forward and take action. But let's move forward collectively. Let's do it together. Let's make sure we spend every dollar, 50 cents, 25 cents, and dime for what is intended to and for where the needs of the county are. Let's stretch that as far as we can as we go forward, but let's do it together. I respectfully ask for each and every one of yours vote, and thank you for your day.
I'm not looking to put a cap on anything with this. I'm looking to come into this with the same passion I do as the mayor. I believe sitting in this position would allow me to take this to a whole nother level. Like Larry, I'm fiscally, all those are very important. It's my goal, once again, to bring everybody, let's start where we have to start and let's bring everybody up. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together, and I understand the issues. I'm well ahead of them. I've been working on a lot of these issues for years now, several years as mayor and president of the Mayor's Association. So I like to think that I'm leaps and bounds ahead because I already understand the processes. I already understand what's going on. And in many cases, I've already had a plan in motion. So I believe that stepping into the commissioner's office, besides learning the office, I believe I'm already leaps and bounds ahead in a lot of areas. I just like to bring that passion, and try to help everybody the best I can to take the county to the next level and keep it solid for years to come. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen, and I think both candidates may have some literature back on the back tables. Feel free to pick some up on your way out. And now we'll go